Okay, so hello there. This is Kate from the York Buddhist Centre, and I'm just going to lead a body awareness meditation as planned this morning, and just see if everything's working with the sound. So I'm just going to go ahead and just assume that it is, and then once I can listen back and just see if that's the case. So I'm going to begin the meditation with reading Thoughts on the Mind by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. And it may or may not resonate with you, but there's times where we get a little bit caught up with the different thoughts of the day. I think it might resonate with you, and then I'll begin the meditation. So do get into your meditation posture, lie down, most comfortable chair, and do lower your eyes or close your eyes completely, and just let the words kind of just wash over you, and then I'll start the meditation as planned. So, Thoughts in the Mind by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Like waves, all of the activities of this life have rolled endlessly on, one after the other, yet they have left us feeling empty-handed. Myriads of thoughts have run through our mind, each one giving birth to many more, but what they have done is to increase our confusion and dissatisfaction. When we closely examine the ordinary habits that underlie whatever we do, and try to discover where they come from, we find that their very source is our failure to investigate them properly. We operate under the deluded assumption that everything has some sort of true, substantial reality. But when we look more carefully, we find that the phenomenal world is like a rainbow, vivid and colourful, but without any tangible existence. When a rainbow appears in the sky, we see many beautiful colours. Yet a rainbow is not something we can clothe ourselves with or wear as an ornament. There is nothing we can take hold of. It is simply something that appears to us through the conjunction of various conditions. Thoughts arise in the mind in just the same way, and they have no tangible reality or intrinsic existence at all. There is therefore no logical reason why thoughts should have such power over us, nor any reason why we should be enslaved by them. Mind is what creates both samsara and nirvana, yet there is nothing much to it. It is just thoughts. Once we recognize that thoughts are just empty, the mind will no longer have the power to deceive us. But as long as we take our thoughts as real, they will continue to torment us mercilessly, as they have been doing through countless past lives. To cut through the mind's clinging, it is important to understand that all appearances are void, like the appearance of water in a mirage. Beautiful forms are of no benefit to the mind, nor can ugly forms harm it in any way. Sever the ties of hope and fear, attraction and repulsion, and remain in equanimity, in the understanding that all phenomena are nothing more than projections of your own mind. So just taking a few deeper breaths in. Just to signal to body and mind that we're just setting an intention to practice. And just helping to just see if we can drop our awareness beneath the ground, just to really take our awareness down, to just become as embodied as we can. Almost kind of push our awareness down into the body. We just imagine the earth or the ground beneath where we're sat. Just allowing ourselves to just come out of our heads and our thoughts and just leave anything into the background. We can pick those up afterwards if we need to. And then just tuning into how we are, which will be different to how we were the first thing this morning. Even however subtle, it will be different. So just getting a sense of how you're feeling right now. And just breathing with that. Don't have to change that, everything's fine. And just be with exactly how we're feeling in the moment. And then we're just going to move around the body with our breath and our awareness to just tune into the different sensations of the body, to just be really present with our direct experience here and now as it arises in the moment. So we'll begin with the lower back. And just tuning in to how that's feeling. If there's any sense of dullness, just breathe into the area, almost like you're breathing the area alive, just allowing the sensations to come into awareness. And if there's any tenderness or tension or holding, just breathe with that too. Often if our lives are quite difficult and quite pressured, we can feel tension in the lower back. Almost like we don't quite feel supported in our lives. It just allows us to just become aware of where we're holding any tension in the body as we move around, which can be quite symbolic of how we're feeling emotionally. So then just moving your awareness up the back, just following that natural curve of the spine to the mid-back. And here, if we're sat up, then we can just see how our posture is, whether we're kind of leaning ever so slightly forward or to either side, and we can just straighten up that, just so we've got a nice upright posture, just relaxed with a sense of ease. It just allows the breath to just flow really naturally in this central part of the body, and just allows us to just be as embodied and as absorbed as we can be, by making sure everything's really aligned. So just working up the back, dropping the shoulder blades down, drop the shoulders down too. Taking a breath and just using that out breath just to really let go of any tension along the back. And just tucking the chin in slightly just to elongate the neck. Just really feeling that stretch in the neck. And again, the neck and the shoulders can be one of those places where we hold lots of tension. So just really breathe in, and just on the out breath, just see how much we can relax and just really let go. And just taking the awareness over the scalp. Just noticing any tingling or vibrational sensations over the scalp or any tightness. And if we're sat up, we can just then ensure that the crown of the head, just imaginatively reaching up to the blue sky. And it's just that sense of spaciousness with the sky, sense of spaciousness rounds our heads. And just really invite that spaciousness into our experience so we don't feel quite so small and tight and contracted. Just to see how that feels in the body. And then just moving our awareness to our chest area. Might want to place a hand here just to help us kind of tune in to how you are. Maybe take a deeper breath just to feel a kind of stretch and expanse across the chest area. And just breathe out. Just letting go of any holding. And just breathing in and almost kind of breathing through any sense of difficulty or tenderness that's held here. If it's spacious and there's a sense of joy, then just really enjoy and just really bask in that. Not trying to change the experience that we're having, we're just trying to become more deeply aware of ourselves, more deeply in tune with the experience that we're having. So just staying there just as long as you need to, just to really acknowledge what's felt, just so it really feels known. Because actually our feelings and emotions just intensify and become stronger if we just don't turn towards them, just to the point where we can't actually ignore them anymore. Ready to do so, just taking a breath in and just dropping your awareness down deep into the belly. And just taking a few deeper breaths here, just to allow our awareness to just really drop down into the belly and just breathe with the sensations there. Just really allowing the belly to just be soft. Just don't hold on to anything with the belly. Just allow it to just be soft. Take up the space that it is. And there's a real place of stillness here in the lower belly that we can almost kind of drop beneath anything that's painful, any thoughts, any anxieties, anything that's kind of whirling around on the surface, if you like the waves. But we can drop beneath all of that to something deeper in the lower belly. But it can take a little bit of patience to just allow our awareness to just stay there. So just be patient and just keep dropping your awareness down there. You can almost use the breath to breathe in and out from the lower belly, as if we're taking our breath from that point in the body. It can just help us to stay there. We can hold a lot of tension in our legs, not want to kind of give up and let go to the ground and the earth beneath. So just, it's almost like keeping arriving on the bed or the chair or the cushion. Just continually let go. And just taking your awareness down to the knees and the lower legs. Sensations of the calves and the muscles in the calves, the front of the legs, all the way down to the ankles and the top of the feet. And the soles of the feet. If the soles of the feet are flat on the floor, you can almost imaginatively breathe up through the soles of the feet and into the body. So just taking your awareness to the top of your arms so we don't leave any part of our body out. And we'll just slowly move down our arms, which you might notice the kind of tingling, energetic vibrations in the arms, and down to the hands. Just noticing the sensations in the palms of the hands and any sense of warmth. The sensations of each finger. And then just begin to just move your awareness to more of a broader perspective. So we've had a very narrow perspective of as we've moved around the body to particular parts of the body. But now it's almost like we want to have a broader awareness to take in the whole of the breathing body. And all the sensations of the body breathing. So we're kind of panning back. And then in doing so, just see where your awareness naturally wants to fall, which might be where you've got areas of tension or tenderness or contraction. So just see where they are for you. So for me, they're in my left hip. I immediately go to my left hip. That feels quite tight. A lot of tension there, a lot of contraction, a lot of holding. You can just breathe with and just notice the sensations there changing. It's almost like there's a flickering between a kind of tension and a release. Like that area of my body wants to release and does so and then tenses back up again, as if it doesn't quite fully trust to let go. Which I do think is quite symbolic of our experience more generally. So you can just allow your awareness to just move naturally around your body of what wants to be known and felt. If you pop back up to thinking or any thoughts, then just use your breath to just come back to the body and just anchor into the body. And then what's really important is to have a sense of joy in our practice. So just breathe in and just see where there's pleasurable sensations in the body that we can just tune in and dwell with. So that might simply just be the relaxation of the breath. In and however small, just find something pleasurable in the body, if that's available and possible for you right now, just so we can have a sense of joy in our practice. It might just simply be that you're willing to just sit for 30 minutes of your day, just trying to become as present and aware as you can right here and now. And just for the last 4 or 5 minutes of the practice, We're just going to just sit, which means we're just going to allow all experience to just come into our awareness and move on. So that includes those pleasurable sensations, just includes being with the breath. The real sense of how you are right now, so your feelings and emotions. And just noticing thoughts arising and passing, just without allowing them to kind of hook you in, if that's possible. So just as well as what's coming in through the senses. So any sounds you can hear. So just noticing how that's constantly changing. Which if we're sat with any kinds of difficulty or tenderness, then that can be a huge relief to know that that is changing, however subtle. And if there is pleasure and a real sense of joy, just really enjoy that for what that is in the moment and the next. And just having a real sense of gratitude for what's kind of brought you to your practice up to this point, including yourself as one of those conditions. So have a sense of gratitude for yourself. As well as the other people that have helped you along the way up to this point. And just before we finish, I'm just going to share the reading again for that to just kind of flow over to you. Thoughts and the Mind by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Like waves, all the activities of this life have rolled endlessly on, one after the other, yet they have left us feeling empty-handed. Myriads of thoughts have run through our minds, each one giving birth to many more. But what they have done is to increase our confusion and dissatisfaction. When we closely examine the ordinary habits that underlie whatever we do and try to discover where they come from, we find that their very source is our failure to investigate them properly. We operate under the deluded assumption that everything has some sort of true substantial reality. But when we look more carefully, we find that the phenomenal world is like a rainbow, vivid and colourful, but without any tangible existence. When a rainbow appears in the sky, we see many beautiful colours, yet a rainbow is not something we can clothe ourselves with or wear as an ornament. There is nothing we can take hold of, It is simply something that appears to us through the conjunction of various conditions. Thoughts arise in the mind in just the same way. They have no tangible reality or intrinsic existence at all. There is therefore no logical reason why thought should have such power over us, nor any reason why we should be enslaved by them. Mind is what creates both samsara and nirvana, yet there is nothing much to it. It is just thoughts. And once we recognize that our thoughts are just empty, the mind will no longer have the power to deceive us. But as long as we take our thoughts as real, they will continue to torment us mercilessly as they have been doing through countless past lives. To cut through the mind's clinging, it is important to understand that all appearances are void, like the appearance of water in a mirage. Beautiful forms are of no benefit to the mind, nor can ugly forms harm it in any way. Sever the ties of hopes and fear, attraction and repulsion, and remain in equanimity in the understanding that all phenomena are nothing more than the projections of your own mind. So, thank you to those people who joined me, and I really do hope the sounds worked, and this is a bit of an offering for anybody who would like to listen to it later in the day at a time that suits you. And if it hasn't worked and the sounds dropped out, then at least it tells me I've still got another problem to solve. So either way, it's useful. So anyhow, anybody that's tuned in or listens to this later, if it's worked, sending lots of love, and I hope that everything's resolved for next Monday morning. So take care. Bye for now.